What's up? What's up? What's up? It's gonna be real quick. I'm getting a lot of letters. Dang, man. I gotta start all over. I ain't starting over, man. This is life. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting some letters and stuff, talking about racism in Japan and this and that and stuff like that. You guys, listen. If you want to know how Japan is, you have to come over here and experience it yourself. Do not ask anyone else who has not been here about racism in Japan, because all they can do is just tell you hearsay. You watch these movies and videos and stuff on TV about Japan and the fathers, the mothers, kidnapping the babies and stuff, and the kids and running off and stuff like that. That happens in every country. It happens in America. It happened to me too. My mother moved to Los Angeles when I was 11 years old, left me and my she took the youngest baby and took my youngest brother, and left me and the middle brother together with our father. He was going to change over all of the the guardian legalship and all that stuff. And before he got legal custody, she came back and kidnapped us from Detroit and took us back to Los Angeles. He recently I just got back in touch with him after 38 years of not knowing anything about him or anything like that, because the last time I saw him was when I was 11, and we talked and stuff, and I was so happy because I'll tell you a story about how we got back together anyway. But and this is in America, and then he went to get us back. He came to LA. The welfare officers wouldn't give him not the welfare, the social office wouldn't give him any information and stuff on us. And at that time we were living in Westwood, across the street from UCLA, living real nice and everything. But it traumatized him for the rest of his life, because she went and stole us, from him. And I wouldn't say stole, but you know how people talk. Me and him talked about it, and he's saying like, well, what, he wish he could have been there. And I just said, well, why, because he was thinking that maybe we were thinking bad of him. And I said, well, I don't know what the other two brothers are thinking, but I'm not thinking anything bad, because had we lived in Detroit, and I remember how it was, I was fighting all the time and stuff, and I didn't really like being in Detroit anyway. So moving to LA was a good thing for me. And I said, had she not did that, I wouldn't be here. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I would even still be alive, and the different things I've done in my life, I wouldn't have done them. So I told him, I don't have any regrets about it. And I said, I wish we could have been with you, but, that's in the past and it can't. But I said, we can start now and build a relationship now. Now, that happened in America. Okay, that happened in America. So basically what they're saying is, even though she still had custody and he was getting custody and we were in his possession, then the FBI and everything said, well, since she still had custody and she came and got him back, it was really nothing they can do about it, So stuff like that happens in America. So, you watch these videos about, Japanese women taking American kids and stuff like that. I mean, why are you getting upset about a kid being with the mother? And all that, you got sperm, you go out and make your own kids, make some other children, unless that one experience just totally messed your mind up about being in a relationship with other women, because there are a lot of nice women out there, but you guys just know how to weed through all this stuff and find them and stuff, and that's it. But racism in Japan is no different than the stuff that goes on in the United States. There is not one family who's just going to say to their parents, except for my daughter, she marry who she want, I don't care. I told my daughter this. I said, you marry who you want, you can have sex with who you want, with everything. I said, you just have to be responsible. And I said, but as far as kids concerned, if you have kids by one guy or a lot of guys or whatever, it doesn't matter. I said, you just have to make sure you have the finances to take care of them children. And that's the only thing that I would get angry at my daughter about, is not having the finances to take care of the children. And that's it. But whoever she want to sleep with and whatever she want to do, that's her business. She would say, oh, I love this man. I'm like, okay, fine. I might ask him some questions, but it's not asking him questions about, well, how he gonna treat my daughter. I'm asking him questions so I can say, okay, well, I need to prepare for this, or I need to prepare for that, just when they get divorced, because as soon as they open up your mouth, you're going to know if they're going to get divorced or they're going to have a good relationship. And as soon as the guy opens up his mouth, because you already know how your daughter is, or you already know how your son is. As soon as the woman opens up her mouth and want to marry your son or whatever, And the whole thing is, a lot of parents are just jealous. They just jealous of their kids because their kids are having fun and they're stuck in their miserable marriages that they can't, too old to get out of, and all of this stuff, And that's all it is. It's not racism, you guys. Racism, the definition of racism, from what I remember, is that it is a group of people who are totally running over another group of people, and they're destroying this group of people. It's pretty much like a genocide or something like that. That's what racism is. Just because a guy don't want you with his daughter is not being racism. It's just that you are probably not responsible enough to take care of his daughter, because he's been living with that girl for over 18 years old, and he know that his daughter is a bitch, and he's protecting you, and then you so stupid because you're strung out, or you PW, pussy whip. Then you want to get married and stuff, and this guy is still here begging you. He's getting upset at you because he doesn't want to see another man get turned into a woman, or womanizer, feminizer, whatever it's called, and he's getting upset at that. No, and you're taking it wrong, but he can't just tell you, listen, my daughter's a bitch, because my wife's a bitch, and this and that, and you're going to marry her, and all you're going to do is get divorced and all this stuff, and this is going to cause me headaches, and I don't want these headaches. But no, the guy's getting upset. No, it's racism. How's it racism? How is it racism? Would you allow your daughter to come home and say, oh, hi, Dad, this is my boyfriend. We want to get married. Is it okay? You're like, okay. You going to do that? Nobody's going to do that. No one is not going to just say, okay. Or just say, daughter, why are you even asking me? I trust you. You do what you want. Don't ask me to marry. I don't care. And then if you say that, the daughter goes, oh, you don't care who I marry. And it's stupid. Okay, so all I'm just saying is that this racism and stuff that you call in Japan, like I said in one of my videos, I think it was, one of my friends got mad because he couldn't get an apartment, so he called it racism. And I said, how in the world, he said, oh, my gaijin, he's racism. When did the word gaijin or foreigner become a race? There's no such thing as a race called foreigners. So you guys using this word racism, and it's too loose. And the real meaning of racism, you guys are destroying it. And you be careful, because these people that's into this emotional, psychological stuff, they're going to turn around and they're going to use those words against you. Okay? Japan is no different than being in your neighborhood. You will have a higher chance of getting killed in your own country than you would in Japan. Okay? You're going to get played out in Japan, but you're going to get played in the States too. Everybody does that. These women, and they got their games. They play with their men, and your men, they're going to do the same thing. And like I said in my other videos, these foreign guys come out here, and they fall in love with these women, and then the next thing you know, they're, I want to get married, and I love her. And then after 2 years, the girls get tired of the sex and stuff, and because all the girls out here, all they doing is complain about the guys anyway, Japanese, American, whoever, and stuff. And then you, 26-year-old, 28 years old, and you and your wife sex stops. Then what you gonna do? Oh, she's being racist because she doesn't want to have sex with me. Nah, it's just you a boring person. My wife even told me that. She said, well, you'll keep asking me for sex and this, you got to make me exciting and stuff like that. And I got to thinking, okay, maybe she's right. I do need to do that. But, I like women who just I like to say, come on, let's go. And I'm like, all right, ma'am. And they could just instantly turn themselves on and stuff. So I was upset about my wife about that for like 2 weeks. And I got to thinking, wait a minute. Me and my wife didn't even get married because of sex. It was something totally different. So when I thought about that, I'm like, okay, then what am I upset for? And there's nothing for me to get upset. So I was like, fine. But then I did other things. We got our sexual life still going and stuff. But I had to do other things, and I'm not telling you guys to figure it out for yourself, because it doesn't. What I do doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. You guys have to understand why you got married. And if you got married because of sex, that all I can say is you're just a fool. Because in Japan, like I said, these marriages out here, they based on business, the older ones and stuff. The young ones, they get married based on love and all that stuff. Go to Hawaii, come back, and they divorce. Some go to Hawaii, get married, and come back and divorce immediately. Because at the time they spent together and stuff. And you guys get I mean, I hear all this stuff and people are saying, well, does this happen to you? And this, I'm like, man, things happen to me in my life. And just because it happened doesn't mean racist. It's racist. It doesn't even mean that, police are bothering you and stuff. They bother you in the neighborhoods. Why? Because you don't understand what's going on, because you don't know their rules, and you're not doing things to stop the crimes, and you're not doing anything to stop what they're doing, because they're an organization, just like all organizations and anything else. They can be dismantled and stuff like that. And if you stop the crimes and just sit in the house all day, what they gonna do? What anyone is gonna do. And then you guys are out here doing all this silly stuff, and they making these rules and stuff, and all they doing is making it, you are causing them problems to make things to their advantage and not to yours, and that's the same thing out here too. You come to Japan and you say hi to someone. Are they supposed to say hi to you? Why? You're not expecting people just to walk up and say hi to you in the States. I mean, if I walked up to some of you guys and said, hey, what's up? How many in the States, how many of you would even speak to me? And not even that. I mean, we could even go that. I see a lot of you guys in the States, I wouldn't even talk to you. I'm serious. I mean, maybe when I was young I would, but I mean, now I walk down the street and I'll just, if you're a brother or something, I say, what's up, you white person? I'm not sure, because we didn't really do that so much when I was young and stuff. But I didn't have a problem with white people, because usually they came and talked to me. So if they came and talked to me, then I spoke to them, and that still goes on nowadays. I don't know why, if they think because I'm African or and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but they think I'm Black American or whatever name we was before it became Americans and blacks and stuff, whatever. So there could be a case too, but I'm not exactly sure about that. But what I do know is that the racism that you guys call racism in Japan is not racism. It's just people's choice. And these kids, they have problems in school. Everyone's going to have problems in school, but it's no difference than you being at home and your wife calling your kids stupid and baka and all kinds of stuff. My wife, I'm like, you can't talk to them like that, but that's just the way they brought up. And these kids go to school and everybody gets bullied. If you guys can get on to Japan, if you can subscribe to Japan News Today, everybody gets bullied and stuff in Japan. These kids are committing suicide and stuff like that, and it's Japanese on Japanese. So all I'm just saying is that you guys stop looking at Japan and saying it's a bad place. You look at your own neighborhoods first and say, hey, this is a bad place. You look at your own family and say, hey, with my mother, I mean, think about it. Some of you guys is living down south, because a lot of you guys act like you're racist anyway. Racist. Okay? And what I'm saying is, a lot of you guys, would you actually think your mother would allow you to marry some Japanese woman who's dark-skinned, look at a lot of black features and stuff, and you bring her home because she's Japanese and you're all infatuated, and you bring her home and they look at her and say like, huh? You think your parents would just like, even the ones that are that look white and stuff, I mean, would your parents just say, okay, go ahead, I mean, would they? And if they do like that, and if they are like that, then it's just, I don't know. Because all I'm telling you this, these women in Japan, they're not stupid. Most of them got degrees. They are not stupid. They're smart. And they know what they want. And they know how foreign guys are. Foreign guys are easy. Most of them are stupid. And a lot of them guys think they're players, and they just get played. I like to call them PMPs, pimp and playing. Guys get a girl, tell me, yeah, I got this girl, but yeah, he's the one paying for everything, But anyway, I got to go. I'm out. Peace.